I have been researching children's internet use and their engagement with social media for many years, and I can see from the available evidence that there are considerable grounds for concern about what children are accessing and engaging with on social media. And I understand parents and policymakers' frustration that we're not in a better place now and that the internet is not a good place for children to go. That said, there is also lots of evidence from children about the benefits that the digital world brings, and evidence of the benefits even that social media brings despite the problems. And so I think a crucial argument is that a ban won't work because a ban simply restricts children and doesn't allow them to engage with the many benefits that they say they find on social media and that we can see from research, despite the problems. So much better would be to restrict and regulate the platforms so that the social media space, the social space for children in a digital world, is already better for them. And that's why we have regulation. We've passed in Europe the Digital Services Act, which is precisely meant to make the internet a safer, a more enabling and supportive place for children. What they want, and what research shows they can find from social media, is a place to hang out, a place to be with their friends, a place to explore children's culture, which is very often digital. It's a world of memes and jokes and satire and information, and sometimes sharing ideas on homework or ways of getting involved politically, or finding a safe place to pursue some personal or health or even sexual issues that children, when they become teenagers, really need a private and safe place to pursue. So all of this can be found on social media. The problem is not the children, is not their motivation. The problem is the ways in which the platforms, because of their business model, really promotes a personalized feed which exacerbates and amplifies extreme, often hostile content that is kind of particularly follows young people's vulnerabilities. And that's what we see also from evidence. We can see the way in which the business model is promoting problematic and personalized feeds to children. We can see the ways in which this is causing stress for children and a whole host of risks of harm. And that's what should be regulated. There is a second stream of argument which I can just convey more briefly, which is to say we have at the moment no evidence that bans work. And that's several kinds of evidence. We do not have evidence that a ban actually keeps children away from social media. This is what is becoming ever more clear in Australia. So as a piece of regulation, it puts the burden on the children, and the children find a workaround because they need to be with their friends and they need to be online. And we also have no evidence that the bans work in the sense of making children's lives better. We don't have evidence to say take away the social media and children are happier. They don't get bullied. They do sleep better. And the evidence we have that is a bit around that suggests that the problems may continue in children's lives because these problems have multiple causes. Social media may be part of the problem. It's sometimes part of the solution, but it's not the only cause, and so the problem doesn't go away when we institute a ban. And last, I would say to those who are frustrated that we have not yet managed to find ways to regulate platforms effectively in the best interests of children, which is what our governments all want to do. People often say that we need a ban because we're not managing to regulate the platforms. And I guess the problem is that if we can't regulate the platforms, the same problem will apply to a ban. So if we are going to make any of these regulations work, let's make the best regulations work, which are the ones that enable children to live in a digital world safely, rather than simply the ones that restrict children from the digital world while leaving the platforms to do whatever they do, make their profits and promote problems.